Hello and welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, P.I. McLeod, and it's a nice classic Sunday procrastination session with me on day, 3687? Whew. I'm still boggled why they gave us Rhino twice in the resupply rewards. Yeah, whatever. So what's the procrastination Sunday all about? You know, me catching up on what we always have to do. What's up, John? Good to see you. Always good to see you, buddy. Deadpool Daily, here we come. The one, the only, Crash the Titans. There's only a single node this week, but man, I have memories of this one. And I'll tell you why. So, first off, let's start with the intro. The MPQ mystery, yeah. I guess? Sure, we'll go with that. Magneto here, 3-star Magneto. Well, for one, he's cheating. Look at that, 555. That's not fair. Get out of here, buddy. He's got... When he came into MPQ, he had a couple of different tricks up his sleeve. The red being one where it's a real cheap price. He eliminates all the team-up tiles on the board and does damage for all of them, which also indeed creates a board shake mechanic, which was pretty, well, not common back then. He was new to the game, and it was something that was unprecedented. I'm not saying this was something that was broken back then, but it was something that definitely people remembered for. Heck, when he came along and then 4-star Wolverine came along, there was a nice board shake combo they could do together between his red and Wolverine's black. But, you know, enough about that. His blue is just a straight up damage dealer by swapping all red and blue tiles on the board, doing a damage per swap. And then finally, there's his yellow, which isn't too much of a deal. He creates a bunch of protect tiles, random spaces on the board, but the cool thing is it is true random. It can overwrite enemy tiles of any type. There's very few things it can't overwrite, and it makes it a little noteworthy in that for that point alone. Other than that, it's no one's really putting their levels into the projectile maker ability. Let's just call it what it is. Why is this fight memorable for me? Well, let me show you. Back when Crash the Titans was very, very new, or up and coming, or basically it was a new thing in Deadpool dailies once upon a time. Okay, as I take off these boosts, well, story time. I was trying to get my way through the crashes one crash at a time, 1 week at a time, right? And I didn't have champed 4 stars when this started. I didn't have, obviously, champed 5 stars, not let alone champed 4 stars. And so they're like, oh, use Nick Fury against Magneto. I'm pretty darn sure that my Nick Fury was a 1-2-1 at the time. And I was adamant that I was going to get through it. It was super hard, but I did. And you might wonder, how do you get through a 555 Magneto, level 270 with a 1-2-1 Nick Fury? Well, quite simple. Demolition. See how it says, for 10 blue, create 7 trap tiles that when matched by the enemy, detonate in unison, dealing damage per, it says dealing damage each, basically per trap tile that's out there, okay? If you match a single trap tile, it just detonates dealing a half that amount of damage. But if the enemy matches it, it detonates all of them doing damage per. So you best believe my plan became, and it took me almost an hour to do. I did many losses, but I boosted my blue AP, and I went in there and just gunned for blue AP as much as I possibly could. 2 reasons. One, if Magneto got that blue AP first and fired off his blue, I was dead in the water. No shot, right? But if I got up to 20, wait a minute, Pi, it says 10, right? Baby duck, baby birds, I'll feed you. If you get to 20 blue, that means I can cast this twice. That's 14 trap tile. Well, 14 at that level. Let's see, level 2 was 3. Okay, so I cast it twice to get 6 out there. But the point was, if he matched one, he was detonating all 6 of them at that time, dealing the damage for 1 match. So if you have it at level 5, that means 14 trap tiles, one match, they're all 14 are gone, and that damage is dealt. I wanted to make sure I was killing that guy in one fell swoop. And it worked. It was hard. I needed a good board. I needed to boost correctly. But I'm here to tell you that don't ever give up. Unless you have maybe one cover and that's it. Otherwise, you usually have a chance. As long as you have at least one cover in each color, you probably have a chance. You just have to have the right strategy. I mean, if you're going against Polaris, well, that's different. You know, certain characters are just made differently, and we all know this. But for most cases, there's usually a shot. You just got to have a plan. Now, this isn't a PSA for me to tell you that Demolition's the best ability Nick Fury has to offer. It isn't, honestly. It's just a really nice one if the enemy matches it. But to be fair, if the enemy destroys them with a match 4, it doesn't trigger it. If he overwrites them, it doesn't trigger it. If you destroy them, it doesn't trigger it. It's pretty fragile. Avengers Assemble is a lot better. It used to be cooler. It had like a 10 yellow cost, and it did like a lot more damage. But it also had this funky requirement that it only did the extra bits for red, purple, green, blue. If you had, I want to say it was 5 in each prerequisite color. So in other words, you only got the Iron Man bit out of it if you had 5 red. You only had the Hulk bit of it if you had 5 green. It wouldn't spend it. You would just had to have it on hand. Well, for this new Avengers Assemble shtick, you have 6 yellow, and so it's 4 yellow cheaper, right? It deals less damage than it did before, but if you have 5 AP, again, in these other colors, they'll join in. So the same prerequisites are there, but it just needs more. Well, I shouldn't say needs more. It does less, but costs less. That's probably a better way of saying it. If I'm being honest, I kind of miss the old way because there was some really fun ways to get this rolling in multiple turns. The old way cost more, but you for sure were doing enough damage in one cast to trigger Valkyrie's Bounty Hunter every time you triggered it. And hence you could build more yellow and more yellow and more yellow. And it was fun. You could probably still do it now, but it's just, I don't know. It doesn't punch as hard. It's not much fun to me. Anyways, blue gets you a Black Widow stun, which is okay. It's pretty decent. Green is just an enemy team hit. Purple makes a critical tile. And red does a bit of extra damage on top. It's okay. It's still a good ability. It's just not as much punch as it used to be. It is cheaper though. Escape plan finally for 9 purple. You deal a decent amount of damage. Creates a countdown that when it's activated, it steals 6 AP from the enemy's strongest color, and then makes a pretty decent sized strike tile. It's not the best ability. Let's call it what it is. You're getting the damage. But if you want the extra pizzazz out of this, you have to wait for that 2-turn countdown to go down all the way. And so hence I always keep this at level 3 because, well, you can't guarantee that the countdown's going to go down, right? You just can't. You can't guarantee that that's going to happen. You might also be able to argue with me and say, well, Pi, you can't guarantee that demolition isn't going to go off correctly, right? And I would say it's a decent, valid point, but I'll gamble that. I will gamble that because the amount of damage demolition can do is a lot more earth-shattering than what Escape Plan is capable of. So I will gamble on blue instead of purple when it comes to Nick Fury. You might even also say, well, why don't you just throw Avengers Assemble down? Like, no, because I like the stun, the team damage, the crit tile, the everything this does to be at a higher level. The reward is worth the risk. That's a good way of putting it, John. John, modern plan, chasm if possible. Yeah, but this is a Crash the Titans, so I don't think it's really a modern take on it. Anyways. Okay, so Nick Fury versus Magneto. If this was comic books, movies, what have you, if it's the theoretical comic book fans' you know, imagination theater, we all know Magneto wins. But, you know, this is a game, and we can have anything work the way we want it to, right? Right. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Forgot. One-on-one fights. Character effects on. Yippee! Okay. We want blues. We want yellows. We want pinks or purples. The order that you want to go in, I would say, is blue, and because Magneto's blue does damage too, so you don't want him to have that. And then yellows, because he uses yellows as well, and you might as well take them when you can, right? And then finally purple. Honestly, if he gets the red, it's not necessarily game over unless your Nick Fury is just a very low level one. So don't worry about that unless you're just too low level to really take it. I do remember way back when with my old 4-cover Nick Fury that my Nick Fury could not take a red cast. So I played a lot of defense, matching blues when I could, but also matching the reds. If he had a blue or a red match available, I would say, nope. I would let Magneto take all the yellows he could. Because if he took the yellows, at least his protects weren't damaging me. I still had a chance of winning. Avengers Assemble, could I do it now or should we wait for all the colors? Ooh, maybe that's what we do this time. Let's get all the colors up to 5+ so we can see how pretty it looks. There we go. Challenge unlocked. Let's go. Well, this will get the greens. Pretty well done. Let's see. We just need 1 more green and 5 red. I didn't have this in my head when I was starting off today, but hey, here we are. Sir, I need those reds. Sir, I need you to relinquish your reds. Okay, fine. You can have an animation. Oh boy. I'm Magneto. Look at me with my animation. Hey, look, you don't get more reds just because you want them, sir. Some people. Okay, 1 more. Now we can cast the yellow with all the animations. Yay! Okay, let's see it. Whee! So, he's out of the game. Now, I could kill him with this, but let's see if we can get the blue up and then do, like, the blue animation and then hit the purple. How dare he ruin the stream? Oh, boy. It's close. I could do this. And then I need you to stay alive a moment longer, Magneto. If I move this purple up, he'll take the blue, guaranteed. What if I take this, put it there? Oh wow, he didn't take the blue? Holy wow, I expected that. Okay, so he can give you the... Go ahead, do your coercive field. See how much I care. You're dead next turn. Hey, we get to see all the animations. So demolition. We got to see all the yellow animations. There's him sitting on his throne. And then finally, bang, bang. Done. We get to see them all. That's not often that we get to do that. Yay. That's kind of telling, isn't it? If you think about it. If I could cast all 3 powers of a champed 4-star character and it didn't win the crash until the 3rd one was cast, that character is probably not that strong, is it? To be fair, Nick Fury is more of a character of strategy. He's not just the bull rush through to win sort of character. He's not like a Polaris, a Karnak, a Juggernaut, an America Chavez. You get the point. He's not someone that just plows right through enemies. So Nick Fury is useful if you have a plan. But it's just kind of fitting to the character if you think about it. But yeah, so it took all 3 castings and here we are. Or if the opponent's cheating. Yeah, I know, Magneto, 555. Get out of here, sir. Sir. Anyways. Well, that's it. We're doing pretty good. We're back up to 50 command points after our last horde breaking. Our legendary tokens have healed themselves back up to 16 already. We're building the horde back up. Gotta be ready for the next pull session, right? And this week coming up, I have no clue what's in store for us because, frankly, you can go and check the forums if you want. Go out on Reddit, on Discord, on any other social media platform they're on. They will tell you what's up. I like an element of surprise, and I like talking to you guys, the viewers, with an element of surprise in my voice. Let's face it, if you know everything that's coming at you, how exciting is the game? That's just my take on it. I like to be surprised. I like to wake up in the morning and be like, ooh, it's a puzzle gauntlet day. Let's go. So, anyways, I'll talk to you guys really soon. Thanks for joining me, John, and you all have a good night. Later.